All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about the Delphi case real quick while I'm waiting and doing something. Getting more clothes ready for laundry. Delphi, let's listen to now. There's some new info out where an FBI agent is saying that there's two voices in the Delphi video, possibly. And that very well might be true. Like I said on this channel from day one, once we knew about there was a pedo ring down there, Keegan Klein and everything, it made sense that there might have been more people, involved. So we're going to watch a little bit of this video from this little lady's channel. I posted it in my chat. And this is the FBI agent talking about the voice and how many could there be, or what I always thought was either there was two or more, because the police gave a clue that there was numerous voices on the recording other than Abby and Libby's, right? There was a lot of rumors that there was a woman's voice also on there. We don't know. We're only going by what they gave us to listen to. So let's listen to this real quick. And we'll get their opinions and see what you folks think. But it's possible. Well, he's thinking, well, there was two people there. That's possible. There might have been more. Is it possible? I would have to ask that FBI agent. Does it sound like maybe it was edited? Right? One voice is one person, the other voice is another person, but the police edited it and put them together. Right? So you're hearing the full thing, but actually it's two guys might have said something different in the beginning of the recording of the girls, and then another voice popped up somewhere in the recording, and the police put the two together and said, this is the voice guy. Well, we were not sure. Let's listen to what this FBI agent has to say.
Is the new video where you can softly hear Bridge Guy say those now famous words. Now take a listen to the original audio released by police in 2017.
It sounded more like it was almost like a disguised voice, when you've got a witness that they're trying to change their voice for protection, and it's like down the hill. It doesn't sound as natural or real as it does in this new release.
Coons also picked up on something else in the video. Abby Williams and Libby German talking about there not being a path. Take a listen.
There's no path going there, so we have to go down here.
I think they were planning to go down the hill anyway.
Okay, so he thinks they were planning already to go down that hill. So what do I think? Oh, man, we had 4 or 5, 6, 7 people, I think, where the voices matched. Now, he's saying that maybe there was someone there as a witness and they were disguising their voice. I don't know. I'm going to be honest. I had a couple people as voice people, right? I didn't have Rick yet because there wasn't enough on Rick. Richard, whatever you guys want to call him. There was only the ski lift and a little bit at the bar, but you really couldn't get anything off of it. Not until his voice came out through his prison phone calls. that it seems there might be a match there, right? But I also had uh, like tons of other people on there. Greeno, I had Chadwell, Harmon. I mean, I have a list there that I wrote down, and I had a bunch of people on that uh, because they all. I mean, this was a freaky case. That's why I said it was almost demonic, because these people, somewhat from a distance, looked like each other. Some of them did look like Richard Allen, right? I also had that YouTuber, a couple YouTubers, Mikey's Adventure or whatever it was. Him and then three other guys that his channel was. But we had a bunch of people as voice guy and bridge guy, right? Now, I don't know, but either there was more people there, and other people knew about what was going on, and they were part of this ring possibly, and they knew maybe there was trouble and that girls had to go. That's very possible, right? So there might have been others there, but I'm asking this FBI agent, this former FBI agent, is it possible they edited it in there? Or do you really think there was more people there like the police claimed? And we are actually hearing two voices, and possibly more if we got a real professional to enhance the whole video and go through the whole thing and the recording. So very, very interesting. Uh, and you know, we tipped this in. Now, whether they're going to tell the truth, if people have tipped it, many people tipped it in. I know I did, right? At one time, I was having 500-600 people watching my videos, views afterwards. So maybe, I don't know, but I do believe there was more at work here than we will know. Whether it was a sting gone bad, or whether it was some kind of a pedo trafficking thing. We know we have Klein saying that it was okay to sleep with young kids, right? That he never slept with real young kids like 5 years old or anything, but 9, 10, 11, 12. He said that was okay to do. And, you know, that was his own statement. So, yeah, we're not taking any of these people off of the table. I know a lot of people are pissed. The government, we're taking, no, you ain't taking none of them off, because they're all connected. No way about it. They are all connected. They ain't going to come out and tell you, folks. They're connected. Yeah, especially when they're the biggest child ring, sex pedo ring, or whatever it is, drug and madness. They ain't going to come out and tell you they all know each other and they're buddies and belong to some club or whatever, or some sicko pedo thing. No, they're not. They're not. There ain't no way. They'll probably stay far away. The only way these people would admit that they know each other is if the government said, we're going to cut you a deal. You talk and we're going to cut you a deal. You won't be doing 100 years. You'll be doing 80 years or whatever, you know. That's the only way. Because if you question these dudes, not unless they come to Jesus and Jesus finally gets them to confess it, then they'll confess. But just to people out there, do you think they're all going to confess that they belong to this pedo ring and they were killing girls and trafficking them and kill? I don't think so. I don't think so. I just don't think so. I just don't think so. The only way they're going to have to play ball. Richard will play ball. Richard might be innocent. I can't say that's Richard Allen 100% on the bridge. Not with that photo. Not 100%. If they had footage of him up closer, then I would be able to idea, but from that distance and everything, it's hard to say. He does have similarities. He does have a gait, right? He does have a gait. He does have similarities, but so did Chadwell. So did Harmon. So did so many of these people. All right, so now the plot thickens up, right? After we got, and then you have to consider. A lot of people were saying, it's, are we hearing a lawyer? Everybody, it was hush hush. Could be, right? This is a pedo trafficking drug, whatever, ring. You think they want to get caught for it, or even stealing? If they're a corrupt lawyer, and mob connected, then yeah, they probably have been stealing a lot of things and doing very bad things. So I would imagine, yeah. Now, which lawyer is it? Is my question. We'd have to turn to the voice and start listening to the voice to see. Now, the only other thing I can think of is somebody had the phone and they manipulated the footage. Right? How can the phone be spotted pinging off other towers around town as the girls were supposedly dead or missing that night? Right? How does the phone turn on and then power back up on itself? How does it could be a short. If it was in water or whatever, it could throw a short saying that the headphone jack shorted out. That there might not have been no headphone jack plugged into it, and it just might have shorted out and said the headphone jack either was plugged in or shorted out or whatever. That's possible too. So numerous things, but we know this. Data, phone data helped in this case. And that might make sense why they said there was a bunch of phones in that area that day and something was going on. Well, it probably was. I mean, if these guys are stealing money, if they got a lawyer and a corrupt judge and a lawyer, and it's a crew, it's a ring, and they're paying off people, and they also have the lawyer to try and get them out of trouble, and here we are. In the beginning of this case, they were talking about it was somebody, within the government, within the law sector, whether it was the Delphi was corrupt and the lawyers down there, or these other lawyers, or someone from Chicago, and all this and that. Well, they might be right. They might be. I don't know. Right? We're only YouTubers, and we're going by what was put out. Most of it was fake and manipulated videos that YouTubers put out. Try and lead you away from the 300,000 or whatever, or really billions, because it all connected to what they were doing. Whether it be the drugs, stealing from people, wills that were stolen, property that was stolen. You got a corrupt lawyer and a judge. There ain't nothing you could do. Right? They're going to steal it. They're going to come up with something. They're going to try and set you up with drugs. They're going to try and do all kinds of stuff. They're going to try and set you up for photos or whatever, My God, you sent a penis photo to a woman or whatever. Yeah. See, here's the thing. They've been talking for years, and they had a relationship and whatever, and they both were, right? We wonder how you got them photos, though, because, right? Hackers, yeah. And I imagine they hired many of them to do hacking also. It's going to get ugly, probably, but yeah, as the info comes out. Now, you folks have a great day. And like I said, uh, this FBI agent thinks that one of the voices might have been a witness. And he was trying to disguise his voice because he was a witness. He was there.
Is the new video where you can softly hear Bridge Guy say those now famous words. Now take a listen to the original audio released by police in 2017.
It sounded more like it was almost like a disguised voice, you know, when you've got a witness that they're trying to change their voice for.
I don't know that voice. I can give you 3 guys right now that sounded like that. And they were social media people. So somebody ain't doing their jobs right. Now, this FBI agent, he might be right. They were disguising their voice, maybe. I don't think so. I think maybe the police got it right, and we were hearing more people. Maybe we are hearing 2 voices. They were from different times, and then they were within different times of the recording, and then they just edited it out and put them 2 things. Now, either we're looking for 2 guys, right? And the police said Bridge Guy might not have anything to do with it. Might be innocent, right? I don't know. We know this much. There was many phones pinging in that area that day. There were many people that put themselves there that day. Keegan Klein was caught. He boot scoop boogied, took off. Chadwell was busted with a 9-year-old in his basement. You had Richard Allen claiming that there was 3 or 4 girls there. There was 3 on the bridge. 1 broke away. And there was left 2. And he did, so maybe there's more to this story where, yes, there was others there. 1 of 2 of them, we don't know, was kidnapped and was going to be put in the sex trade thing. That might have been the girl that Chadwell had or whatever, or one of these guys had, Kurtz or whatever. One of these people. And now it makes pretty much sense to me that the 2, Abby and Libby, someone off them, and whoever was there or whatever. That's possible. I'm not saying 100%, but it's possible. It's very possible. They released low quality version of what's on the video. It is weird. The Kleins was trying to get a deal. Yeah, I imagine he was trying to play ball. I think he said he's doing 40 years? He might have been doing longer, and he cut a deal and they gave him 40. I'm not sure. Very well possible. But you can't take Keegan Klein off of the table, right? At that time, there was over 200 people using the Anthony Shots account. And they all might have been, them 200 people might have been this ring. No. If Mr. Anthony Greeno was there and he was a witness to it and he escaped with his life, you remember him and his sister saying that his family was worried for him. They called in that day because he ended up missing 2 or 3 days after the murders, and when they seen him, he couldn't walk. He was paralyzed, his legs. He couldn't walk. And then his videos, Anthony Greeno already stated that he had something to do with the case. He also said his phone was taken. His sister said that they couldn't find him, and they called the police and whatever. And then a couple days after the murder, he showed up, but he couldn't walk. Why is that? Did he survive it? Did they beat him? Did he act like he was dead to get out of there? Was he part of it, but then it went bad? Was he the one they were meeting? Who also might have been using the Anthony Shots gun? We're not sure. We don't know. We don't know. Maybe he was a witness and he got out of there. Maybe they beat him to half to death or tried to cripple his legs or something. Maybe. It's possible. I don't think so, but it's probably highly possible. Anything's possible. Anything's possible. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got stuff to do. Greeno was like a low-level guy in the criminal underworld. Yeah, well, he talked on camera that he was they wanted to initiate him into something, into a club, which this pedo ring might be also a club. They might ride Harley Davidsons and everything. And then you had the Smiths, right? Now all the footage came out of some dude that knew Keegan Kline was into drugs or whatever. Keegan stayed with him or whatever he said. Some guy Ryan and I'm not sure. It's just a mess. Many probably were involved, right? Or led. Maybe Keegan Kline did cut a deal and let the police know, hey, it's this guy here, because I know they were all the way up here up north and in Angola, Indiana, and surrounding areas, investigating stuff. So there might have been a connection. Might not have been pedo, but it might have been drug connection, gang connection, right? This club biker stuff. That might have been the connection why they were out. It might have been a gun that was sold out there or whatever and tracked back to somewhere else. So it's making sense now. Hello, Miss ATS News. Good morning. It's Sunday, the Lord's Day. Amen. RC99 says he was in prison with him. Ricky Davis. Yeah, there was a whole bunch of them. There was the Sullivans. You had Holder. You had Messer. You had all these people. Now whether it was just what we thought it was, just a big giant ring, and they were, I don't know, into this cult stuff or whatever it is, or ancient things. I think KK is his father getting rid of evidence had a lot to do with it. Not coming into the trial and a deal like, yeah, they were going to call Richard Allen, or they were going to call Keegan Kline, and who else was on that list that they were going to call next if it did go, if they were going to redo it again, or they wanted to, was Brian James Chadwell. And I do believe there was a couple other people on there that either defense or the law or someone was going to call them guys to the stand. So there might have been something huge. I mean, one was nude and one was the other girl's clothing. So she was nude at some point. Yeah, they had to be. And that finding the phone thing, right? Oh, whoever had custody or control of them girls, and they had to undress them girls, take their shoes off, take their socks, they found that phone. This whole stuff, well, she hid the phone. No. If them and the phone's left right underneath her shoe, right? And you're telling me that this guy or these guys undress these people and everything. They knew there was a camera. Why? Because she's got the camera out when the guy comes walking up. She's got the phone out. He comes walking up. He's talking to her, and she's still got the phone out. So he knows the phone is there. These people, oh, she hid the phone. Bull crap. The phone, when he comes walking up, is pointed at the ground in her hand. He knows, and it looks like there's a tripod or a selfie stick in the shadows. So whoever was walking up knew that they were being recorded, or someone had a phone going, or a camera. Yes, but let's see what Miss ATS News is saying. Yes, but it's the theory RA just decided to act on this violent crime, or they said something to him he didn't like, so they acted out this way. Who knows? Who knows, Miss ATS News? Like I said, for all we know, somebody that knows how to edit got a hold of that phone and edited, and all the footage we're watching could be edited. And they're sitting behind their desk and everything. Some of these YouTubers probably laughing their butts off. That's very well possible. Very well possible. Let me see what else I'm going to say. Do you think Richard Allen killed them? And if so, alone? We weren't there, so we don't know. As citizens, we really don't know what happened. Could Richard Allen have done it? Yeah, Richard Allen could have done it by himself. Yeah. Yeah, but it wouldn't add up. Not when the police are coming out saying there's numerous voices on the recording. Now, if Richard Allen did this by himself, then Richard Allen is a psychosis, schizophrenic, right? Where he becomes someone else. His voice, he becomes somebody else. And he's not trying to, his voice, but I don't think so. I think there's probably others there. And it makes sense of what was going on and who got picked up. That, yeah, the police were on the right track. And there wasn't one, there was many, hundreds, maybe 200 of them that they knew of that were using the Anthony Shots account, because now it came out that there was hundreds of Anthony Shots accounts. Well, that might explain it. I mean, here's the thing. Why would Keegan Kline pick Anthony Shots? Now, whether there was already a whole bunch of accounts that were fake, or they were using Anthony Shots for their ring, and that would explain all the accounts, fake Anthony Shots accounts. And throw in corrupt lawyers, corrupt police, corrupt government, and police and everything. Yeah, I would imagine these people stole billions, millions. Who knows? You got a corrupt lawyer, a corrupt judge, and police. Yeah, I imagine they've been stealing wills, IRAs, stocks, everything, anything they can. It's a crew. If it ain't nailed down, I imagine they have people impersonating people, forging documentation. Thousands, probably hundreds of thousands involved. It's a giant ring. Giant ring. Right? And hackers, throw the hackers on that they had. And then proof that these idiots were hiring hitmen. Right? Hitmen. I wouldn't doubt it if the boss of all bosses seen one of my videos and said, I hope you pricks didn't try and set up these people and do this and bring my. I bet you the boss of all bosses is going to beat these people half to death. I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt. I don't blame him. I don't blame him. Right, the head cannoli is probably like, I can't believe of these people. But oh yeah, I bet you the boss of all bosses is pissed. I know I would be. Right, it's like the Goodfellas, right? Paulie smacks Hill in the head, right? Right? I told you don't ever go around them pricks, right? That guy did 70 years for just going around a junkie. They're sticking needles in his arm. Yeah, I bet you the boss is pissed. Pistolio. Probably I would be. But there you go, folks. Now you got a former FBI agent claiming that it ain't what we think it is. Well, who knows what it is, right? We don't hang out with idiots like this, and we don't do stuff like this. We're homebodies, so who knows what happened that day? We have no idea. There could have been many people there. That it could have been a sacrificial. It could have been a pedo ring. It could have been a drug ring. People within the family. Boy, did they create the perfect storm. They did. They literally created it. They literally created it. And then they wanted to take the top players, the ones that confessed, right? Klein, in his own way, confessing that he was there or had something to do with it. They're not going to just come out and give you the full story. It's wrapped up within their lies. It's like Richard Allen now coming out saying he was there. And then his wife saying, you told me you were never there that day. You were working. Right? And boom, that's where the lies come. Right? That's where it starts. And then you got Richard Allen sitting there going, how did this happen? My bullet wasn't there. I didn't even have my gun that day. Well, you better start thinking, baby, real quick. Because if you're innocent and you weren't there, then you got someone within your family, moles, that were trying to set you up. You best think real quick. And I would be. I would be if I was in that situation. And I knew 100% that I didn't do it. And there's no way my weapon was there. Well, then someone got into my house. Right? Some little skinky skink that I might have been laying in bed, thought I was, she was in love with me, was all along stealing, robbing me blind, and setting something. You better think, Richard. Think you're, But here's the thing with Richard. Even after his psychologist and they gave him all of his medicine and he was declared stable, he continued to confess. And then at the end of it, the last one we heard, he said, someone's with me. Now, either somebody's with him in prison in his cell, or someone was with him at the murders. Now, I want to say thank you to all you folks. I got chores to do. I've just been sitting around here doing stuff. You're right about that, Miss ATS News. Great thoughts. Great thinking. Yeah, Miss ATS News. It's possible. It's possible. Either the only thing I can think of these people getting away with this is either it is so corrupt or it's true what we thought. These people conjured up some kind of a demon. We get too close to this thing, it starts choking us out, feeling like we can't breathe, we can't swallow, we can't do nothing. It starts crippling us, right? And that might be some kind of a demonic thing that they conjured up. I know what they're going to say. It's the Lord protecting. I don't think so. Right? I don't know. I think so. They might be right about that. This witchery, sorcery stuff or whatever they're doing might be true. I know they robbed me blind. I can't even get a tan. I get a tan for a couple minutes. Poof, it's gone. So I don't know what we do. Full scale war. I'm not sure. We'll talk it over with Pentagon and Trump and everything. It's bad. The ground's gone sour, President Trump. Ain't nothing we can do about it, baby. The courts, everything. It's just gone bad. There ain't nothing you can do. And now we're getting hit with these other people and everything coming in here, dropping off their sicknesses. You can take that crap back. I'm not the Messiah. I don't know who told you folks I was going to clean you or do everything. I can't. It ain't me. I don't have that kind of power. Only Jesus, King of Kings, has that kind of power. I don't know what to tell you folks, but I can't stand down no more. Matter of fact, I'm under orders. Strict orders. Right? No, I could be like the rest of these people. They all claim they work for Trump and everything. I'm like, why can't I have some fun? Right? I'm under strict orders. There's no way. It's a mission. I don't know. Who knows? I didn't create this mess. I don't know who did. And God bless America, and hopefully we can figure all this mess out. I think we pretty much did, though. No, I agree. A lot of people tipped in a lot of stuff. Did anybody hear us? Was it even, here's the thing, were they even real tip lines? That's my question. These people are, we tipped it in, John. We know it. I'm like, hey, you ain't the only one. Right? But was it even a real tip line that they were telling us to call? Or just somebody that wanted to either kill us because we got too close to the case, or they wanted to solve the case and get the 300,000. I don't know. Probably full-scale war is probably the best thing. Probably Armageddon or whatever they're calling it. We can only hope we're with Jesus on his side. Now, I've been watching a lot of people in this psychic stuff, so they might be able to help solve some of this stuff. They might be able to. They've been popping out names at me, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. That family's around here. Oh, that's interesting. That family's around. Yeah. Gee, I might have worked with them people. They're like, oh, I'm like, I don't know. Some crazy stuff. But I want you folks to have a beautiful Sunday. I got more chores to do around here. I'll be back later. I got to do a outdoor video. I'm going to let it run while I'm doing chores and birds twerping, all that stuff and everything. God bless America. God bless everybody. All glory goes to God. Forgive us for our sins in Jesus' name. Amen. And heal us all on this earth in Jesus' name. Amen. You folks have a great day. Great questions, Mr. Or Miss ATS News RC99. He said Logan was buying phones with porn from Keegan Klein. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it if they were all connected, and they probably got rid of the phones. I'm going to go through a box of phones that I got, and the only reason I collect them is because there's gold inside of them. I'm sorry. Some guy showed me one day. He's like, "Hey, check this out. These are all gold." I was throwing stuff away. Right, my old computers that broke down and everything. I was throwing them. He's like, "Don't throw it away. I need the clips out of there, and I need this and that." I'm like, "All right, what are you talking about?" And he's like, "Look, this is gold." I'm like, "Are you sure that just ain't like fake gold that they need some kind of?" He's like, "No, gold. They're in phones. They're in all kinds of." I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna look and make sure. See, maybe it's something like, I don't know. I think I got like 10 phones or something. People either thrown away in the garbage or garage sales or whatever. And you got to be careful with that, right? These people might be trying to get rid of their phones, and the next thing you know, we're sitting here, and the next thing you know, our door's busted. Praise, right? Where's that phone? I don't know. That could be. I think I got a couple phones from the lobby down here in a box that people were giving away. Maybe they were part of it. Who knows? We don't know. It's crazy. There's numerous ways that could go, too. It's just unreal. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be back later. God bless everyone. Thank all you for stopping in and John Paul and RC99, the rest of you folks and everything. But yeah, we're trying to deal with this. I think I pretty much got it out, man. I think I know what's going on. I think maybe somebody down in Texas at one of these retirement homes or hospitals that when I was younger in my teens, I went down south to Texas and worked for like, I don't know, 3-6 months or whatever. Maybe one of them left me a ranch home or something down there, or maybe someone tried to steal it. I think we're on to them. God bless America. We'll be back later. Have a great day.